Week 16 of the fantasy basketball season. And here's a few centers I looked to add this week. The first guy, Santi Aldama of the Memphis Grizzlies. So obviously, we know that Steven Adams, he's going to be out 3 to 5 weeks now with the injury. And Santi Aldama, he's filling in, and he's been so far decent on the season. 9.2 points a game, 4.7 rebounds, 1.2 assists, 1.3 threes a game, and 48% from the field here for Aldama. So right now, he's playing about 20 minutes a game for this Memphis Grizzlies team. I'm not saying the stat lines have been great and big, but he's a guy getting an opportunity, and a guy who could actually stretch the floor as well and hit the three ball. So the last few games here for Aldama: January 23rd at the Kings, 8 points, 2 assists, 2 threes, 40% from the field. January 25th at the Warriors, 13 points, 3 rebounds, 2 threes, 100% from the field. And January 27th at the Timberwolves, 5 points, 4 rebounds, an assist, a 3, and 22% from the field. So like I said, he's getting some opportunity. He could stretch the floor a little bit here. And with Steven Adams out, he's going to definitely fill in and have a decent workload, I believe. And right now, he's available in 83% of fantasy leagues. The next guy's Daniel Gafford of the Washington Wizards. I know Gafford's had an up and down season, but for the most part, he's been a guy on this list a decent amount of times this season. Ted on the wire. On the season, 8.3 points a game, 5.1 rebounds, 1.3 blocks, 74% from the field. But the last few weeks here, 12.2 points a game, 7 rebounds, 1.5 assists, 2 blocks, and 70% from the field. So field goal percentage, rebounding, and shot blocking is definitely Daniel Gafford's specialty, and a guy can help fantasy owners here, and definitely a solid ad as well right now. Available 59% of fantasy leagues. January 24th at the Mavs, 9.7 rebounds, 3 assists, a block, 66% from the field. January 25th at Houston, 9 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 4 blocks in that one, and 50% from the field. And January 28th at the Pelicans, 21 points, 12 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, 5 blocks, and 72% from the field. So right now, he's been a shot blocking machine with 10 blocks in the last 3 games. And we know shot blocking that don't exist as much in fantasy basketball and in the NBA. And Daniel Gafford right now, he's bringing that for fantasy owners. And it's definitely a key category. If you could lock that down pretty much weekly in head-to-head leagues with just like a guy with Gafford who's a specialist, he's a good ad, and he's going to rebound and score the basketball as well. So right now, he's available, like I said, in 59% of fantasy leagues. Next center I look to get Drew Eubanks of the Portland Trailblazers. So Eubanks last season, he had a good solid second half of the year, but this season here, the numbers have definitely been down. 5.7 points a game, 5.6 rebounds and assists, 1.2 blocks, but 72% from the field. In the last couple weeks here for Eubanks, 6.3 points a game, 5.9 rebounds, 1.1 assists, and 64% from the field with 2.1 blocks. So another guy who's going to go in there and block shots is Eubanks. And he's definitely a guy that could score the basketball as well here. So right now, like I said, Nurkic is banged up, and Eubanks is getting an opportunity. Available right now in 88% of fantasy leagues. So the last few games here for Eubanks were an expanded role. January 23rd versus Spurs, 7 points, 4 boards, an assist, a block, 75% from the field. January 25th versus the Jazz, 8 points, 10 rebounds in that one, 2 steals, 2 blocks. And January 28th versus Toronto, 7 points, 3 rebounds, an assist, a steal, 2 blocks, 50% from the field. So shot blocking and rebounding is Eubanks' specialty, and field goal percentage for the most part. And if you need that, with him definitely getting an opportunity, obviously, without Jusuf Nurkic banged up, he's definitely a guy worth an ad this week. The next guy, Kevon Looney of the Golden State Warriors. So Looney, he's been on this list 3 or 4 weeks in a row here, and right now he's still out there, is Looney, in a decent amount of fantasy leagues here, 55%. So Kevon Looney on the season, 6.7 points a game, 8.7 rebounds, 2.8 assists, and 64% from the field here for Kevon Looney. So over the last few weeks here for Looney, 6.7 points a game, 10 rebounds, 2.4 assists, and 70% from the field. So right now, Looney, we know he's a good field goal percentage guy, and we also know he's a guy that can rebound the basketball, and that's exactly what he's doing right now for this Golden State Warrior team. So the last few games here for Looney: January 22nd versus Brooklyn, 14 points, 10 rebounds, 2 steals, a block, 71% from the field. January 25th versus Memphis, 4 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, a steal, 50% from the field. Then January 27th versus the Raptors, 12 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, and 85% from the field. So right now, Looney out there in 55% of fantasy leagues. And he's definitely a guy that can help owners in rebounding for sure and field goal percentage. And he's getting an opportunity every game. He's pretty much out there 20-25 minutes a game for this Warrior team. And James Wiseman's still not 100%. So Looney definitely an ad this week in the fifth and final center I look to get off the wire this week here is Jericho Sims of the New York Knicks, and Mitchell Robinson we know is out for the New York Knicks. And Jericho Sims, he's been the beneficiary in the absence of Robinson here. With Hartenstein not doing much on the season for Sims, I know the numbers haven't been much. 3.9 points a game, 4.8 rebounds, and 81% from the field. But the last few weeks since he's filled in, 5.7 points a game, 7.8 rebounds, which is a good number, and 94% from the field. So right now, Jericho Sims, a lot of dunks, a lot of putbacks. And the last 5 games here for him, he's shot 100% from the field with just doing that alone. But right now, his specialty is rebounding and about shot blocking. And like I said, only a few field goal attempts a game, 3 or 4 a game at most. He's getting with a good field goal percentage. January 24th versus the Cavs, 2 points, 4 boards, 100% from the field. January 26th at Boston, 2 points, 14 rebounds, a block, 100% from the field. And January 28th at the Nets, 6 points, 10 rebounds, a steal, a block, 100% from the field. So right now, if you need a guy who's going to rebound the basketball, shot block, and give you a good field goal percentage, Jericho Sims is definitely a good ad. And he's getting about 25 minutes a game plus for this New York Knicks team. Available 90% of fantasy weeks. That's a few centers I look to add here in Week 16 of the fantasy basketball season.